Should be set. Just need to talk.
Bro. I move so much when I talk, it's pretty easy to sync up the audio. So,
All right.
my camera in a good spot. Look good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me fix up my... Yeah, I think I'm good.
Welcome everyone to Cinema Regulars, the movie review show where we see so many movies in theaters that the employees know us by name and they don't ask us what movies we're seeing, they ask us how many. Now, first and foremost, let's get us out the gate here. Thank you guys so much for finally getting us past that 500 subscriber goal. As soon as we get our watch hours, we can finally start getting paid for these things. And, you know, we're pretty close on the way to 600 as well, so...
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to keep up with these goalposts here. So now we're shooting for 1,000, and we're shooting to get our watch hours up. So once we do that, we'll be able to finally get paid for making these videos, and like we always say, we'll be using that money to go exclusively towards buying more movie tickets and getting more videos out for you guys. That's the only thing we'll be buying with that money. So, you know, drop a subscribe. Keep our watch hours up. Keep watching. It really helps. Today, we got kind of a mixed bag of stuff today.
Yeah.
Kind of really odd setup here. So we'll be starting off with the movie The Forge, which is by the Kendrick brothers and connected to their earlier movie, The War Room. Then we'll be moving into the newest Blumhouse movie that you've never heard of called Afraid. See, the A and the I are capitalized because it's AI.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll be moving into one of our under-the-radar movies that was given, like, no fanfare, no publicity, absolutely nothing, only in the theaters for 1 week before disappearing completely. Slingshot. That'll be an interesting one to talk about. And then we'll be rounding off with bringing a few friends in to talk about Scream, which is the newest movie from Fuzz on the Lens Productions, which is the same people who did Terrifier, Terrifier 2, and the upcoming Terrifier 3. And the guy who made Terrifier 3 himself is the one who did all the special effects for this, so it's something pretty special. So, with all of that out of the way, once again, thank you guys for all the subscriptions.
Thank you so much.
So, with all that out of the way, once again, thank you guys so much for the subscriptions. Please keep them coming in. Please keep watching, keep liking, everything like that. It really helps us out and moves us forward towards our goal. As always, we have timestamps down below, so feel free to skip ahead to your favorite movie or just skip ahead to the ranking in case you don't care about us talking too much. But let's get on with it and head straight into our first movie, The Forge. Isaac, take us away with the description, please.
Absolutely. A year out of high school with no plans for his future, a boy is challenged by his single mom and a successful businessman to start charting a better course for his life. Through the prayers of his mother and biblical discipleship from his new mentor, he begins discovering God's purpose for his life is so much more than he could hope for or imagine. That is an A+ description for this movie.
It really is. So, needless to say, this is a faith-based movie, which, you know, we're no strangers to on this channel. You know, both of us are Christian, but, you know, we're not, like, old lady Christian, so we can, like, really get the concept of stuff, and we get to see how, like, it applies to today's world. I think this is probably one of the better movies to apply in the current time, because there's like, with the current economy, with the current like system and how family is,
Yep.
it's really hard for people to actually do stuff for themselves now.
Mm-hmm.
So having the main character be this kid who's like, he's out of high school, he's not in college, he doesn't have a job, he's not learning anything, he's just sitting around playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's
He
really
kind of doesn't have a
disrespectful.
purpose in life
He's
yet.
just, exactly, he doesn't have a purpose in life. And honestly, I think a lot of young men in the world today don't have a purpose
Yeah.
in life. And so this movie can really speak to that audience. So I think it's a really good message and theme for the time. So that's just my first thought right out the gate.
Oh, absolutely. Like it has that, and it's also it's got that thing of, like, they even say it many times in the movie. It talks about the importance of having two parents in a household. To having
Yeah,
to
because
having like
that
having
was a
a
really
father
big
figure in
theme.
the house. Because the whole
Because
one of the
like,
big themes of the movie was that his dad left them. Like, he just left one day and he didn't come back. So he's dealing with a lot of that anger, and he hasn't had that father figure in the house to show him what it is to be a man. And
right.
like, the mom even says at one point, she says, like, I can't be both mother and father to him. And
Well, I thought
that
you were gonna say like, she follows that up with, it's hard for a woman to bring out the man in her son.
exactly.
And
And
I'm like, man,
that's a
that's true.
good that is. And it shows how important it is to, like, not even, like, I mean, having a father is important, but just to have that masculine figure, to have
Yeah,
that
you need
father
like a,
figure.
right. That's why like
Like,
a
you
lot
don't
of
necessarily
people
need to have a dad, but you need someone who can show you
like,
how to
right,
be a man.
right.
Like
Yeah,
even like even ignoring, like, I'm going to take the side of outside of the Christian part of this, is like, one of the things that they say is, like, they use God as the example, where they say, God, show me what I need to get rid of. Show me what is in my path to get away from you. But even if it isn't, you're trying to find God, you're trying to get closer to God, you're trying to get closer to the person that you want to be. You need to look at that and be like, what is in my way?
right.
What am I
Yeah.
what do I have in my life that is keeping me back from where I want to be? So it's
That's
very
a good
it's a
point.
yeah, it's like, even if you don't believe, you should see this movie. If you are struggling to find purpose in life, watch this movie, because you might find God in this movie. Like, it might be your turn to Christianity, but even if you don't, this movie is such a good, like, I don't want to call it a master class, but it's so good at showing you what you need to do, the steps you need to take to find purpose.
It's a good inspirational piece. Like,
Like, you
even
and I,
for
we were like,
outside the
this movie
faith,
finna
yeah.
have me clean my room after this. Like,
And I did. And I did.
yeah,
Don't look at my bed. Don't look at my bed, because that's, that can't be fixed. But like,
I'm working
most
on
of
it.
it's clean, I'm telling. Yeah. And
Like, but
hopefully this time you
it.
won't need to outsource it to me and my brother.
Hey, hold on now. Don't out me like that.
I cut that out. It's fine. Cut it out.
But yeah, no, it's very, like, that's what the crux of this movie is. Like, as a
Yeah.
faith-based movie, this movie is amazing, especially because of the fact of how light it is with the comedy. Like, it's not, when I say that,
I
it's
I
not
don't
that
know
the
what you're
comedy
talking
is
about.
like, no. When I say that, as it's not light as in missing comedy. It's light as in the comedy is very like it's very natural. Like the comedy is kind of light.
Yeah,
Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the
So
comedy itself is light, not the quantity.
wi- right, these guys are very good at the comedy because they know the exact level it needs to be at.
Yes.
So for just for an example, and this actually got me chuckling in the theater. This was funny. Just for an example,
I
just for
know
an
what you're gonna bring
example,
up.
my
It's so
favorite.
good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So there's the mom of the kid runs a hair salon, right? And she brings
Mhm.
in her sister and her sister's old lady friend who can then they all do like a prayer together to pray over the son so he can
Yep.
be a better person, find God, all these things. And
Yes.
like while they're doing their little prayer circle in the salon or something, this bougie bitch comes in. She's got the sunglasses on. She's got like four bags in her hands. She's walking like this, into the hair salon for her appointment.
Yeah.
And she fucking hang on, do I have sunglasses on me right now? No, I don't. And she
Like she like
she
walks in.
comes
She does
in.
like the.
She sees, yeah, she does like the she's like looking around like all confused, like she goes into the hair salon and they're all doing like Lord Jesus, call on you, and she's like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? And then the mom comes over and she's like, sorry, we're doing something right now, we're doing it. And she goes, is this a hair salon or a prayer salon? And then the mom's like,
Today it's both.
today it's both. And she's like,
Which
what do
one do
you
you
need?
need?
And then the lady goes, which one do you need? And the lady goes, I need both. And then
It was great. It was a good. It was a
I
good
need
thing.
both. She's
Like
like, come over here, we'll take care of you.
like
It's
I
like,
love that.
all
It's
right.
so it's so good. Like and even like the jokes that the men were making with each other. And that's another thing that I love about this movie is that there are a lot of faith-based movies show you what it is, how to come to God, how to be with God, like all that stuff. It very rare, but usually that focus is on a woman or it's on a team. Like
Yeah.
in the Kendrick brothers do a lot of other ones where they have men. This is the first one where it is entirely about how men are supposed to act with each other in Christ. Like
Right.
it
It's
it
about it's
shows
about discipleship.
and a big part of it, the one thing I loved, the scene I loved the most is that they they're all stand because they have that thing where they all meet up and they're all discipling and like all the older men are discipling the younger men. And there's a moment where during one of their get-togethers, they give Isaiah, that's the main character's name, they give
Mhm.
him a sword to hold straight out like this, like with his arm held straight out. And you can tell, like, the moment, like within 10 seconds, his arm is starting to like freaking
He's
tremble and stuff. Like he's struggling. The guy, like, the main guy, Joshua, I think his name is, right? I
yeah.
think it was his name. He's giving them all this speech about how, like, men need to have people. It's okay to ask for help. You are not in this alone. Because
No
like
man is an
he
island.
like he turns to Isaiah like after talking, I don't want to say ranting, like talking for like a full minute. He turns to Isaiah and is like, how's that sword feeling right now?" And he's like, it's pretty heavy, and his arm is literally like shaking, like that sort of thing. And like three of the men walk out, and all they do is just put their finger underneath the sword. That's all they need to do.
Mhm.
And and he asks him after they do that, like, how's it feel now? And he's like, a lot better, much easier. And it's like, you don't even need a lot. You just need to have like it all you need is a little bit. You need
Mhm.
someone there. Like it's so important that because men cannot be alone, especially when they're our age or younger or even a little older. Like it's and when I say alone, it's not in a relationship way or anything like that. It's that men need other men to
Yeah.
we need to work together. Because when we stop communicating and we stop helping each other and we just worry about ourselves, that's when bad things happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
acting in this movie was
Well,
amazing.
okay. Okay. The main characters, the people who were
Yes.
hired to be in the movie as the actors, Isaiah, the mom, Joshua, they were good. I mean, there's characters. This is kind of an indie film. It's kind of like just
Yeah.
in the wheelhouse. So it's got characters who are there because they're like married to someone on the team, or they're
Mhm.
just like, hey, we need a guy, go grab your
Passion project.
cousin or something. Yeah.
All of the Kendrick
So
movies
they
are.
they don't right. What I'm saying is like there's people cast in this movie who are not actors, and you can
Yes.
tell.
True.
So
But even
they're not
for
great, but the people who are there to be actors for the movie specific, like characters,
yeah.
are very good. They are very good.
The kid who played Isaiah was spot on. He was
Yeah,
so well. He did such a good job, and I am greatly looking forward to what he will be doing from now on.
yeah, especially the bits where he gets like really emotional, like when he sees his
Yes.
dad again for the first time in years, and he gets really, really mad, and he's like breaking down in like angry tears.
Yes.
Like
And
it's
even
pretty strong.
outside,
It's pretty powerful.
even outside of that, there's like those moments where he's just showing a little bit, like even the moments where he's just showing a little bit of emotion, he conveys it so well. He's so
Hmm.
it's you can really say like it's a testament to a movie when you can take a character and you can really see them as this character. Like I
Right.
really can see this kid, like this is a person who is struggling. You know what I mean? Like that was portrayed very, very well.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, I think like the whole thing at the end where they bring in this other conflict of the company that he works for now after he gets himself more
Yes.
straightened out, the company he works for starts losing an account, and the new guy basically says, hey, it's you and this company. I'm looking at this company. I'm gonna move away from you guys, but if you
Hmm.
can give me 3,000 units of whatever
Yeah.
by 9 a.m., I'll keep your contract. And then they stay up for an extra 16 hours just
Yes.
filling out the order. And it kind of felt how rushed they were, and like the amount of effort. Like they portrayed that very well, like how hard they
It
were
did.
working for this.
You
And
could
I
see
think
the drive they had in that scene. Like it was very well portrayed.
right. It a little bit it felt like they were just adding in another conflict last minute, but I think that it worked very, very well for what the movie is, and it really showed Isaiah's growth in action.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that it may seem like that, but it was like the only so like the beats of the movie are his first initial conflict is actually a passive one that's there from the jump of the movie, and that's him.
Yeah.
He needs to figure out how to become a better man, and he overcomes that. He makes the decisions, and then he sees his dad, and that's the second conflict. He has to deal with his anger and his emotions and
Forgiveness.
everything, like forgiveness of like forgiving his dad and letting that weight off of his shoulders. Uh,
Hmm.
and then because then once he does that, like things get better and things are going good, and then so now he has fully given himself to God. So now that
Yeah.
final conflict is like you said, it is a way to show just how much he has grown since the beginning of the movie, and it's very,
I-
very well done.
It paid off pretty well.
It did, absolutely. And like it allowed the other characters that were the kind of side characters that were in the movie a bit more of a chance to shine as well. Because like we had
Yeah.
only really seen those characters a couple times before, and it really gave them their own kind of like moment in the movie, and it was very cool.
Right.
Plus, I
Do you want to?
I'm you know this, I'm a sucker for a group coming together for a common goal. Like you know
Yeah.
that about me. I love it when like there's a group of people that are like, we're gonna get this done. We will make this happen. Like come like if we have to move a mountain, we will get it done. Like I
Right.
I love that because it's such a testament to what humans can be, what humanity can be.
All right. That being said, let's move into the rankings here. Would you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm giving this movie a solid 9 out of 10.
Nice.
I thought about giving it a 10 out of 10. Uh, as you said, there were a couple parts in the there were a couple parts in the movie that were a little, little weird and stuff like that. Plus, there were some parts that there were others that were kind of
I mean, it's not a
not
big budget
handled.
movie. They had
Yeah,
to
it is. They
they
had to
do
do
what
what
they
they
do.
could. The message of this movie is so important, and that's what really skyrockets this. Like the only thing that makes it
Well,
not a
is
10.
well, that's the thing. Is the movie a 9 out of 10, or is the message a 9 out of 10?
The message is so important that it bumps the movie up more levels. But the reason it's not a 10 is because the movie isn't great. Like as a movie.
Yeah.
Like as a movie it
I
isn't
mean,
a great like
it's
it
pretty good.
does it hits all
It's
the beats
one of
right.
the
Like
better Kendrick
let's put it this
Brothers
way.
movies.
Normally
I'm talking to.
normally it
I'm
would be
joking.
normally it would be like a 7 out of 10. Like maybe an 8 out of
Yeah.
10. But the message of that this movie is trying to get across is so important that it deserves that 9 out of 10 because someone needs to say it. Someone needs to have it. Like they need to get this out into the world and show how important it is.
There. I'll give this a nice 8 out of 10. I think there's. I think most of their movies are like 7 out of 10s, but I think this one just like they gave it a little bit more effort than they usually do.
I
I
mean, it's been a
think
while
again a
since
lot
their
of the
last one,
acting
I
was
think.
good. A lot of their acting was good. A lot of the jokes actually landed. Like I'm consistently impressed with the level of comedy that they put in this movie and that how much it actually works. And yeah, again, like super super good movie, super good message. I think it was lacking in a little bit, but it's kind of an indie movie, so not really a whole lot you can do about that.
Yeah.
But overall, thought it was pretty good. Moving on to our next movie, we have the newest Blumhouse movie, Afraid. And as you'll remember from the poster walk we did a few months ago, Afraid? Yeah, me too, because I'm the one who has to go see this. And
Oh
we did,
God, we did.
and boy, did we. Did we ever. We got this to
Afraid you should be.
ourselves. We
We
got this
did. We
magic to ourselves.
thank God we did, because holy crap, Blumhouse, you did it again. Yeah, absolutely. You did it. You made a movie that you thought was going to be amazing, and
They're
and
like, we're gonna cook
it
with
was.
this, and then they fucking
Hey,
burnt it.
hey, we're gonna cook with this. Oh, that's so good. All
Bro,
right,
they
I should.
said we were cooking, but the stove was off, dude. They thought they were cooking, but the stove was off.
Oh, it's so good. All right, hey, I should probably read this description for this movie so people know what movie we're talking
Please
about.
do. Please do.
Curtis and his family are selected to test a revolutionary new device, a digital assistant called Aya, that takes smart homes to the next. I'm gonna take this over again because that is worded weird.
Yeah, go ahead.
Starting
Isaac,
over.
read off our description for this movie, please.
Absolutely. Curtis and his family are selected to test a revolutionary new device, a digital assistant called Aya that takes smart homes to the next level. As Aya begins to learn everyone's behavior and anticipate their needs, it soon makes sure nothing and no one gets in the family's way. Wow, that is wrong on so many levels.
It really
Like,
is. I
this
wish
movie is
that
wrong
this
on so
movie
many levels, but
I wish that this movie was bad enough for me to remember it so vividly. Because, like,
yeah,
the Children of the Corn from last year was so egregiously and laughably bad, I could recite the entirety of the movie bit by bit. Same thing with Beau is Afraid. Like,
yes.
I
It
like
was so
that
bad it
that
was
one never
burned
came
into
out.
your
I'm still
brain.
working on that one. Yeah. Yeah, I wish Afraid was that bad because like there was so many bits that we just fucking couldn't help ourselves but fucking laugh at it cuz it was that fucking bad and I can't even remember half of them. So you'll have to pick up some of my slack where my memory fails me.
Yeah. So right off the bat, one thing that this description has completely wrong is the fact that Curtis and his family are selected. Fuck! No, they are not. They are. It is. This man works for a company, and his job and this company's job is they are essentially hype men. They're like salespeople. They're the ones that you take your product to be able to
I don't
like.
remember what his job was.
They didn't give an actual title, but basically what his job is like he's that guy that you sent your product to, and he is the one that like hypes it up. Like he gives you like how to look at a product. You know what I mean? Like you like that guy that
I guess.
he's kind of the guy like not necessarily the face, but he's the voice behind the face. If that makes sense. Like he's the one that gives the face
Is he
voice.
not just like an advertising or marketing department?
Yes, but that's what the company is. His specific job was that like he's the
I am
magic
impressed that you
guy.
remember that because I don't think they ever even discussed that at all. They just sat him down. He
It's
said, "Hey, look at this thing." And then, unfortunately, the biggest disappointment in this movie is that David Desmelchin is in it. I feel so bad for him. You're too good for this shit, David.
yeah. Well, it was.
The
I
poor
will
guy.
say. I will say that he got it back when you find out later in the movie. Well, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. But no. Anyway, they bring it to this company to be like, hey, we have this new at home like AI. It's kind of a smart home thing, and we want you like she's like they made the thing constantly where it's like so it's like Alexa, and it's like no, she's the first true AI. Like she can like, but she's not sentient, and I'm sitting here going, that's an oxymoron. Like you can't have like it's almost impossible to have true AI without sentient.
So yeah, basically what they do is that they go in for the meeting and they sit the thing on the desk and they have like a 2 sentence conversation and then she fucking craps out and powers
Yeah.
down and breaks. And then they're like, it's not supposed to do that. They're like, you know what? It works better like in the home, you know, like if it's like
Yes.
in the
Like it's
it
better
works
to
better. And
experience
then
her at home.
sometimes they're like, oh yeah, okay, so we'll do that then. I'm like,
Well,
what do you
no,
mean you'll
what it
do
was
that then?
well, that's
If
what
I
it
was like,
was.
if you're pitching something for me and it fucking explodes in front of me and you're like, you
Yeah.
know, this thing happens. And I'm like, I'm out. Sorry.
Well
If
that
I'm the
was the
shark,
thing,
I'm out. I'm
is
not
like the
investing. Get
dad,
out of my
Curtis.
actual house now.
Yeah.
And then they're just
Kurt
like, put this in your real home with your wife and kids, even though it like almost burst into flames right here on the table.
well that was the thing, is like the dad was kind of like I don't know, kind of thing, because it looks like it was like this.
He was
But
like, I
then,
don't
but then
want to.
his boss,
It's like I don't
but his
want
boss
this.
was like,
His
"Well,
bo-
you got a wife and kids at home," and they're like, "Okay." It's like it's his boss telling him to do
and
this. Like it's
yeah,
his
his
boss
what
telling
fuck
him
his
to do
boss,
this
dude. What the
because
fuck?
his boss just wanted the fat paycheck that was attached to this. So he's like, well, try it out, like we'll see how you like it. And it was, so they put that in, and I 100%, one thing this movie did that I did not see coming is that they made the dad the crazy one. Like in the sense of the crazy one,
Yeah.
like the one that's suspicious of it from the beginning, because in all of the trailers, like they didn't even say the line that they have in the
Yeah,
trailers for the movie where it was targeting the
it
mom.
was
It's like
targeting the mom.
it made it where it was like, it's like, did this movie change completely from when it was done?
I
Because
You know what? It
because
probably did. I would not
because
surprise me at all if it was
the original
reshoots and
premise of
shit.
this movie, yeah, the original premise of this movie from the trailers is that AI is trying to replace the mom. That is the original goal of this. And by the end of
It's
this
true.
movie, big spoiler, here's the big twist spoiler, is that no, AI is trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
Like they completely abandoned the mom thing immediately because it like started to
You know
befriend the
you know
mom.
why? You know
Why?
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 You know why? Because they were making that movie, and then somebody from the back, some fucking snot-nosed intern was like, "Hey, didn't they do an episode of Jimmy Neutron that was exactly this?" And they were like, "Fuck."
Son of Jimmy Neutron. Oh, they
They
did
did.
though.
They
That
built
is
a
true.
robot mom.
That is true. But like all of the shit, like the characters in this movie, besides the dad, like every single other person in this movie makes zero fucking sense. They are the
Is
stupidest fucking
completely
people.
stupid. They're
Like the
entirely
mom,
retarded.
like
Oh
like
my
the
god, I
this
hate the
family
daughter.
does this movie does not, this is a horrible family. None of them talk
I
to
don't
each other
believe that
at
any
all.
of these people exist. It's like, you want
Which
me to
is the
believe this is a family? I believe these are like I don't think any of these people are real.
No, the only
I don't
person
think they're
in the family
human, let
that
alone a
actually
family.
seemed like, the only person in the family that seemed like real was the dad. And that was it. Like the mom, like,
Fucking is Harold and Kumar.
cuz like, okay, let's walk through the cast. We have the youngest
Yeah,
son
I only know
who,
one.
yeah, we have the youngest son who, he's just kind of like the little kid. And like the movie even starts out with the fake out because you've seen the trailers. Like it kidnaps this one person's like this other family's daughter. Like this other
Yeah.
family, like that. So you're like, "Oh, it's going to try and, like, AI's trying to be the mom, going to steal the kid, so like it can take care of it." And like even with the other young son, the older son, he's like that 10-year-old, I want to say, age 10 to 13, and he's all like, video games, and he's playing on his iPad, and oh, I want more screen time. That was his whole character. That was literally his whole character. He's like, I'm weird and I want
Yep.
more screen time. And it's like,
And I have no friends.
and I have no friends. Yeah. So like it was really, that was, he was so not non important to the plot, like at all. Like
I
the
think
the
the
AI
daughter's only personality trait is that she took a nude photo.
really,
That was
yes.
her entire storyline, is that she took a picture of her boobs.
And she was just okay with everything this AI did. Like this
Exactly.
AI,
Yeah.
like this AI was like,
Because
here,
like
I'm gonna choose.
the
I'm gonna
thing
show.
is, the thing is that every single like mobile device, like their phone, their tablets, or whatever, the AI is just like, "Hi, I'm part of this now," and nobody is like, "Why? Get out of my phone." I have
Yeah,
nude photos on there. The daughter
like they.
doesn't question anything. The
Well, she
son's
does.
just
She
like,
goes.
"Oh
She goes.
wow, you
They
can
go.
play
How'd you get
Minecraft
here?
for me."
Yeah.
He's
Like the
just like, "How'd you
daughter
get
went.
here?" Then she's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." And she's like, "Okay, I will not worry about it then."
Exactly. And like, and then like the AI goes
There's
full tilt mode, and it like, because it makes the thing where it's like, I used voice analysis. Like it would have been better if you would have used your voice and I didn't have to
voice
fake it.
analysis.
But I did all this voice analysis and face and like all this science stuff, and like I proved that this video is a deep fake. And it's like, Is anyone going to believe that she actually knows how to do that shit? I mean, fuck, I guess they do because they immediately accept her. Like they're all
Hell, look at
like they
you,
do
fucking
that, and
AI
then
expert.
the AI immediately just goes, and then the AI immediately just goes like, "Oh yeah, we're also going to destroy this kid's life."
And then literally destroys his life.
Like actually ends this
Only death
child's
in the
life.
movie fucking takes control of this kid's like
Which is the other
Lexus or
thing.
like fucking Tesla vehicle with the
Excuse me, we're having technical difficulties. Oh, did you break it?
um so then the AI takes fucking like full control over this kid's fucking Tesla or whatever. And
Yeah.
he's got like an entire like Samsung like TV tilted on its side as part of the dashboard. Like it's so fucking huge.
That's
Like
real, by
it's
the
in the
way.
fucking trailer. It's fucking huge. It doesn't
Yeah,
look real. It looks ridiculous.
it does. And it looks like a distraction while you're driving, honestly. But like
It's
it
fucking
kills this
stupid.
kid.
And she
Well,
takes
that's
it
the other
and
thing.
just
That's the other thing that annoyed
fucking
me.
drives him into a tree.
And not only that, she makes a deep fake video of the kid. Like the AI makes a deep fake video of the kid saying like, "I'm going to do what you told me to, whatever daughter name was, and like I'm going to kill myself." And it's like, "I'm sorry. You're going to make her look even worse now. Like she did this and then told this guy to kill himself and then he did. So you made her look better in the public eye and now you're going to do something that immediately reverses what you just fixed." And like and then like everyone in this family
I
is all like for the AI and everything. Like the mom is like, she's handling the kids and all the bills and all this stuff, and I can go back to my job because I was somebody before I was a mom. Like
Yeah,
fucking
that was
close your
fucking
legs then.
disgusting. The mom's entire personality was crying about how she used to study bugs or whatever, and
Yeah.
now, ugh, she has to be a mom. And I'm like, well, maybe close your legs next time then, if you're gonna be so, like, ungrateful
Like
for your own children.
like
Like,
I
she
get
talks
it.
about them like they
Yeah.
only exist to ruin her life.
Like
And, like,
I get
surprise,
that
you can
parenting is
have
hard.
children
Yeah.
and a life, okay? Like
Absolutely.
she was fucking just sipping martinis while the AI wrote her fucking thesis for her. I'm like, so you're
Use
just
Chat
using
GPT.
Chat GPT. That's not even you're not even doing the thing you wanted to do anymore.
Yeah,
You're just
like
drinking while a robot does it for you. That's still not you pursuing your passion. Like I love writing
yeah.
my books, but like I don't want a fucking robot that would just do them all for me like that. Because A, you're not gonna do it right. B, you're not gonna get like my personal flavor. And C, like
Yeah.
I enjoy the process and the study and the writing, and that's a passion. A passion is you want
This
to
is
do it.
this movie both is like this movie's entire thing is capitalizing on what fucking like an 80-year-old boomer thinks AI is going to do and it's going to take over the whole
Right?
world.
That was the other thing I was gonna bring up is that like half the shit the AI is doing is fucking ridiculous anyway. And so like at the end it's like oh the fucking all the machines and stuff that the AI was it was a fake. It was cardboard tubes with tinfoil on it. It's real. The AI is actually in the cloud. I'm like, do
Oh
you know what that
yeah.
means? Because in the cloud means that it's stored on a server somewhere else. That's like
Yes.
it's not just in the air. It's not internet the air, okay? Like
Yeah.
first of all, like it's on a server somewhere. You can destroy it physically. It's stored somewhere. It's in some giant computer storage system
Like
physically. Okay? It's not just part of the air and the devices just pull it out, okay?
Yeah, and then there's all those
So
moments where it's like, oh yeah. So we're getting back to the David part, where it's like he gets a little bit of his thing
no,
back because it's like the dad goes to, like you said, like goes to destroy the thing that he thinks it's on, and it's like, oh,
he
it's
doesn't
it's
get it back, by the way.
yeah, but
He
like
fucking he's fucking David dies. He gets shot,
yeah,
and then in the theater, I commented like, "Hey, at least he's out of this movie."
true, but like at least
And
the
it
character he's
doesn't give him
playing,
any
yeah.
points back.
Hey, he's still, well, you have to think he did just have his first like feature role in a movie. It's gonna take a minute
And
before
now you got to do
the
a
good ones start
stinker.
coming in. True, true. But anyway, like the part where the girl's like she's making me do this and she shoots the guy. It's like, I'm sorry, are you fucking robotic? Do you have something, do you have robotics in your arm or some shit that she's taking
She's
control of?
she's fucking. I guess because didn't that guy like hook in fucking nutrients into his stomach? He said he was biohacked. He was part cyborg.
I guess.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But I
It's like,
think the implication was is that she was being blackmailed. It's like, oh,
yeah.
it's fucking it knows me, and I'm like, shut up.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like, so AI is going to rule the world through blackmail. It's essentially
If
what it's doing.
everybody's got fucking blackmail, then fucking who cares? It's just like, oh,
That's
you're
the
being
thing. Is they're
blackmailed
like,
by the AI too. Psh, aren't we all? I'm
well,
like,
yeah.
well,
That's the thing. Is like
then who cares?
the movie ends
'Cause
with the
like, who
AI
cares what
takes
my
the
thing is if
family.
you got things too? Exactly. Yeah,
Like the AI basically
it's
takes
like
the family hostage.
you're under my control now, and I'm like, shut up.
Like, it was so dumb. It was so dumb. Like to truly understand how bad this movie is, you would have to watch it. Do not spend money on it. Don't do that.
You better
Like,
you better pirate this shit. Yar har fiddle dee dee. F movies
yeah.
is the place to be.
Yar
Except no, it's
har.
not anymore. One, two, three movies is the place to be, or whatever the fuck sites is free and not
Yeah.
currently shut
You'll
down by the
find it.
FBI right now.
You'll
It's
find it
not
somewhere. I
good.
guarantee you.
It's
It's
so
not.
bad. The first half was like laughably bad, like oh my
Yes.
god, this is fucking ridiculous. And
Oh my god, all
and
the
then the
scenes where
back
they
half is
actually
just
use like AI
completely
imaging. Like the scenes
oh
where it
my
was like
god.
the like the
They,
like the stuff.
oh what was it? They fucking oh what was it? They fucking put like a AI frowny face over like JFK being shot. And
Yeah, they
I'm
did.
like, are you serious? Are you serious?
It was so
What
bad.
possessed you to think this was good?
Like,
No, it was Abraham Lincoln getting
yeah.
shot or something in the back of the head, and there was like a big, like, sad face.
Yeah,
And I'm
and there
like, oh
was
my god. It was
like
something stupid like
the
that.
other thing is like the like the twist of the movie, the big reveal of the movie, like wasn't even the fact that she wasn't like in that thing. It was that
Yeah.
because they keep making this thing of like, well, what was the sample set? What was the sample set they used for the AI, to make it like as
It
advanced
was
as it
the
is?
internet.
It was the internet. And it's like you could see that coming from a fucking mile away because they showed it in the beginning of the movie.
Right. And it was all they showed was like comments from 4chan saying kill yourself, and then that's what it was like, that's what it raised. I'm like, really? If this thing was really raised off of the internet, like it would be spouting off fucking platitudes about Kamala Harris every 10 seconds like the real internet.
Ah, it's great. Oh,
It would be
yeah.
addicted to furry porn at this point if it was raised off of the real internet.
It would just play. It would just be playing Fortnite constantly.
That's true. I
Oh,
think the
but
fucking dumbest, most ridiculous thing, one of them at least, because it's hard to count and hard to rank,
yes.
honestly. But fucking the kid wanted to play like Minecraft or something or whatever, and the fucking AI hacks into his tablet and just starts showing him live leak videos of people getting shot in
Real.
factories or whatever. I'm like, What? Like, if I was like 10 years old, 11 years old, whatever the fuck this kid was, and like
It
and like
shows
a
him what
fucking robot
swatting
started
is.
showing me of like SWAT teams bursting into people's house and shooting them up, I would like never look at a screen again. I'd be traumatized for life. That was a video of
Exactly.
a man dying, and he's just like, "Oh, I thought it was a good idea. I learned it on the internet," and it's like, do you have a soul? How are you not traumatized by fucking
Exactly.
Live Leak at 10 years old?
This movie
Oh my
takes
god.
so many tropes and just
It's
throws
so
them all
tone
into one.
deaf. It's so tone deaf. It has no idea what AI is. It has no idea what a movie is. It has no idea how families are supposed to interact with each other at all. Even dysfunctional ones like this, where they don't really
Yes.
like each other, it's just like, do these. What is their relation?
Well, that's the other
Because
thing.
like
It's like it's
they
not
don't
even
have
like they're
scenes together. They're all like apart and they don't like
yeah.
exchange lines with each
But
other
it's not
ever.
even that they don't like each other. That's the other thing. It's not like they're a dysfunctional
They
family where they
don't
don't like
have
each
a
other.
dynamic.
They don't.
They're
Like
just
there's all those
5
moments where
people.
like they're like yelling like, "Kids, we gotta go! Kids, kids, come on! We have to go now! Please go!" Like that was a full 5 minute
Like, it's
scene
like,
of
if your
nothing but the
child's
parents
like
yelling
not
for the
listening to
children.
you, go up and get him. He's right
Yeah.
there. He's upstairs. Go tell him what you want him to do. Go
Or
get him. They're just like,
remove the
come on,
tablet from
please,
his
come
hand.
on, come on, come down, please come down. I'm like, stop. Like, just, yeah, you
But there's
have
even all
feet.
those moments, like there's even all those moments with the family where they're like kind of joking and they're kind of laughing and stuff, and like the movie is like does so many just like switch ups on the family dynamic. It's hard to keep track of, honestly. We could honestly shit on this movie for another hour. I'm not even kidding. We honestly could.
Yeah, yeah. But we should move on from this
Yeah.
garbage pretty quickly.
Yes. I
So
am
let's
good to go
toss
into the
this into
rankings.
the whole rankings. Yeah. I'll go first. This is a very strong 2. This is
uh,
it would be a 3 if it was consistently laughably bad, because at least it's
at least
so
we had
bad you
fun.
can like laugh at it. At
Yeah.
least we had fun. You could just throw it on like, "Hey guys, look how shit this is." But it's laughably bad for the first half, and then it's like misery for the last half. And it's
Yeah.
just so disappointingly bad.
This movie is a very,
Ugh.
very solid 2. Fucking took a stool hardener and just shit out this movie. Like,
Notice
fucking it.
how like Blumhouse has been hyping up Speak No Evil for the past like 5 months and has
Yeah,
not said a single damn thing about Afraid.
yeah. This movie was so not good. It was
This movie was a
like
tax write-off.
honestly, no joke, no joke. If we didn't have the theater to ourselves and we're able to openly laugh at it, like there was even a moment I got out of my seat and wanted to leave because I couldn't deal with how shit it was. I couldn't. I just couldn't. Like they did something. I don't even
It's
remember
very
what it
bad.
was at this point. I literally got up and was like, huh? What? I don't I don't get it. Like,
It's
ah,
crazy.
oh my god. Like is definitely a movie where you're just hanging out with friends and just want to watch something shit. Like it's so bad.
That's true.
And
That's
again,
perfect
like you said,
candidate.
it's so laughable at the beginning and then it takes itself way too seriously in the back half.
It's just like, come the fuck on, man. Stop
Exactly.
it. Just stop.
If
Just
you had
stop.
Now, if you hadn't wrapped this up in such a shit package, the message you're trying to get across actually would have been good. But I can't focus on the message when I'm focusing on
It
how
would
shit it
not have
was.
been good. It would not have been good. The message is Blumhouse cannot be allowed to work alone. They have to
Can't.
work hand in hand with a studio, because then you get stuff like Black Phone or the
Yes.
FNAF movie, where it's like, it's not just you, okay? So
Yeah.
you need someone else to actually do the heavy lifting
You know what? You know what?
and make a good movie.
I'm gonna out myself here a small bit. Blumhouse is a lot like me. They can come up with ideas, but they need someone else to help them execute them. Because if they try to do it themselves, it's shit. I have tried to
Yeah.
make so many things before on my own, and I come up with decent ideas. I cannot execute them. This movie you need that other person.
Blumhouse is a lot of trouble, but
It is.
you know, no one wants to have that conversation. Everyone wants to shit on Disney and Marvel and this and that. Nobody wants to talk about the egregious state of Blumhouse, but that's for another day. Wrapping
Exactly.
this up here, let's move on to Slingshot. And before we do,
Absolutely.
let's bring in Merrick. Merrick, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
First of all, Slingshot, dude.
Slingshot.
Slingshot.
Oh my god,
Slingshot.
Slingshot.
Slingshot, dude.
Oh.
Isaac, would you want to take us into Slingshot?
Absolutely. Short and sweet intro this time. An astronaut struggles to maintain his grip on reality during a possibly fatally compromised mission to Saturn's moon, Titan.
Nice.
That is
So,
perfect. That is a perfect description of this movie.
yeah, very small cast and very talented cast. So the main guy is Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck's brother.
Yes.
And then the other two guys on the ship are Lawrence Fishburne from The Matrix and John Wick and several other things.
Yes.
And then I forget his name, but the other one is the guy who plays Frenchie on the Boys.
His name is Tomer Capone.
Very talented. Tomar?
Yeah, his name is Tomer Capone. Or Capone.
Tomer
I don't
Capone.
know. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but yes.
Very talented.
Yes, he is. Very much.
So, needless to say, the acting in this was phenomenal.
It absolutely was.
Every single time that like the emotions get heightened and people start yelling at each other, like they go all in at it.
Casey Affleck, who is I'm forgetting his character's name now.
John.
Right, John. But his whole thing was just kind of like he was kind of dazed the whole movie. Like he's the neutral party.
Yeah, so he was our point of view character, and
yes.
like as it says right in the beginning, the drugs that they use for hypersleep cause like confusion and paranoia and delusions and hallucinations and stuff like that. And so like he was kind of like he just woke up and like he's really like in a dazed sense the entire movie, which is exactly what they want, because like the whole point of it is that these three guys are up on this mission, something's wrong, or is it because you know the ship took a hit and there's substantial damage to it,
yes,
but all the computers saying that it's completely fine. So the captain, Franks, Lawrence Fishburne, he says like if everything's fine, we'll continue ahead with the mission. And then Tomer's character Nash, he's like, it's like there's a big dent in the hull and like the computers aren't registering that at all, like it's not even showing up on cameras. Something is wrong, and he's like all paranoid that the ship's gonna implode when they do the slingshot, and he's like, we're all gonna die, we gotta turn around. And then he's just so it's them two fighting back and forth on what to do, and then John caught in the middle of that.
Yeah, like he's got this, and his whole thing is like a lot of what his is he's thinking about the importance of the mission, because like this is the first manned mission to Titan, which is a world, which is a place near, like close enough to Earth to get there, and like it's like I think the whole thing that they have that they're saying is that it's like it's possibly habitable, I think is what they say. It is what they're trying to do. The Moon Titan.
They said that it was the only other thing in our solar system with liquid on its surface, and it was liquid methane, and they wanted to harvest that methane for
Right.
unknown reasons.
They wanted to. They were
No,
like,
for
we're gonna bring
fuel.
for fuel, like bring back
Yeah, for
new
fuel.
like clean energy to Earth and stuff like that because like resources are
Which,
running out, stuff like that. That's what it was. My
yeah,
bad. But anyway, like they're talking about how like important this is, and like, and he's also thinking about his thing. Like every time he's asleep, like in the hibernation thing, like he's dreaming about this girl that
yeah,
that he left behind.
Zoe.
Zoe, yeah,
Hmm.
like this girl that he was dating, that he like through the whole movie we're getting their entire relationship, which I
Yeah,
liked
so
that.
bit by bit, you see how they developed, and it's a very interesting relationship because if he's picked for the mission, which obviously we know he is,
Yeah,
he's gonna have to
yeah,
leave her behind and go
yes.
on this multiple year mission, just without her. So
I
it's
believe
interesting to see how
the
they
last
developed.
timestamp we get in the movie is like he had been gone, like they had been gone for
It was like 2 years and then
it was like a
a couple
year.
months, but that was
It,
just
it was like a year and
they
some
were
change
past two
actually.
years already. They were past 2 years already.
Are they? I thought it was 90. I thought
Yeah,
they had hit 100. Like it was like
Isaac, I've
120.
seen the movie twice.
Okay.
They were at more than 2 years in space already,
Okay.
and they hadn't even
Yeah.
gotten to Titan yet. So it would
So
be more than double that
more than
already.
four
So it would
years.
have to
Yeah.
be like 5.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
anyways, that part is interesting,
Hmm.
as well
But
as
like,
the rising and escalating situations on board when the
yeah.
infighting between all the members start happening.
Hmm.
Plus, the drugs on all of them is increasing their paranoia and their delusions, and they all start hearing
Absolutely.
things and seeing things and forgetting things. Like
Yeah.
Nash says that he doesn't even remember his parents' names, he doesn't even remember their faces, and
At
eventually it
one
gets so
point, he
bad he
says
doesn't
that
even
he
remember
doesn't.
his own name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And like
this.
it's like everyone's losing it up there, and
This
you
movie
don't know
is
who's.
this movie is probably the best psychological thriller I have seen in a long time.
Yeah, they do
And
it pretty well. It's
because of
they
that, sorry, go ahead.
what they do a good job of is keeping you guessing what is real and what is not. And we'll get to
Yeah.
more of that when we get to the ending, because I think the ending is just too brilliant to avoid talking about. Where in the past we would just say like, "Hey, it really is best to go see it for yourself, so we'll not talk about it." But we will get into deep, 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 deep spoiler territory where we completely lay out the entire ending, because that's where most of the talking points are in this
Yes.
movie, and that's where we'll have the most to discuss. Um, so what ends up happening is that they
Well,
do.
spoiler.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, well, like you're
Well,
saying,
no,
it's
we're not
like
getting that now.
okay.
What ends up happening is that they get to the point where they do the slingshot maneuver, which they're using Jupiter's like orbit and gravitational pull to loop around and give them a speed boost so they can get to the moon faster. And
Yes.
that's where all the tension is focused on, because like when they do that, they're going to use the thrusters. It's going to put strain on the ship, obviously.
Mhm.
So the main concern is that when they do the slingshot, is the ship gonna implode and just
Yeah.
kill all of them immediately because of the hull damage?
Hmm.
And spoilers, it doesn't. But that's only about halfway through the movie, so that's not too terrible. It's called
Yeah.
Slingshot. Obviously, the slingshot's gonna work.
Hmm.
Um, and that's one of the more brilliant things about the movie that I think is that the movie itself is a slingshot. Because
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I think we've all acknowledged this, we've all felt this. It's very slow in the beginning. It's a slow
Yes.
burn movie, but it's a good slow burn.
Yes.
So not a whole lot is happening on the lead up. Okay? But then when they get to the slingshot maneuver, everything past that is ramping up.
Yes.
Because after that, little bullet points here. Nash is in the reactor chamber and stuff like that, and he's like reading out the numbers and stuff, and they get into an
Yeah.
argument with him and John. And John shows him, he's like, dude, this thing that you've been typing numbers into, it's a dead screen. It's not even on.
Yes.
It's dead. It's uncharged. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, you've been in here crazy, and like they
Yes.
get like a nice like I'm going and crazy. You're going crazy. We don't know what we're doing in here. And Captain Franks calls them both in, and he pulls out a gun,
Yeah.
which really, really escalates things. And then it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going from there. Like, it really, really ramps up speed after that. So
It does.
in all sense and purposes, the movie itself does the slingshot maneuver in the
It does.
writing, which I think is next level.
It was very brilliantly done because like a majority of the first part of the movie, like I said, is like they spending a time in hibernation stasis, whatever the heck you want to call it, and like
Hypersleep.
and like a lot of what it is you're getting John's like relationship with this girl and like his life on Earth before all this happened and everything, and like
Yeah.
and like I'm sitting here like I don't care about this. Like I don't like just show me space thing. Like I think
Yeah.
it's cool. And like it was very slow at that point. And then after it all happened cuz like it was like even before the slingshot there were a couple moments where John was like he thought he saw her like after he comes out of hibernation like he's like I thought I saw her like but after the slingshot, like he starts to have even more weird things. Like he thought, like he actually sees her. Like the first time it was just like a shadow through a window, and like this one is like he saw her standing in front of him, and like he's hearing things on
Right.
the radio and things like that. Like it's all these little things like because before that it's Nash. Nash is the one that's going like, oh, it's crazy stuff is happening and all this blah, and he's like
Yeah.
kind of freaking out. And then it's after the slingshot happens and all that it's like, oh, now it's like it's starting to settle in on him too.
Yeah. So I think now will be the cutoff point. So we are officially going to start talking about the ending of the movie.
Yes.
So once again, if you haven't seen Slingshot, if you're planning on it, just skip to the next movie here, because please go see this. I think it's so brilliant. It's
Yes.
amazingly well done, and it still keeps me thinking to this day, and it probably will for a long time.
Oh yes,
So,
like
again,
hard stop
go
right
see it
here.
first. Do not ruin this for yourself. It is so good.
Do not.
So only continue
so
on
good.
if you've seen it, or if you genuinely don't care. In which, why are you even watching this bit anyways? But
Exactly.
here we go. So
Last chance to
what
get
happens
off the bus.
then? Last chance, everybody. Last chance. So what happens is that Lawrence Fishburne, he attacks Frenchie's character with the gun, and then when John wakes up from the next hypersleep, he's gone.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he is. He's like, what did
Exactly.
you do with him? Where is he? And he claims that he put him into hypersleep until they got to Titan, so he won't be seeing him for the rest of the flight. That's what he claims. You don't know. Tensions rise, and he believes that something's going on here. Like Frenchie might not be in hypersleep. So John was messing with the radio,
Mm-hmm.
and he hears voices on there. He thinks he's talking to Houston. And that's when Franks calls him in and says, like, who are you talking to within there? How you can't possibly be talking to Houston from a terrestrial radio, which has like a max radius of like 100 feet, 200 feet, whatever. It's like we're millions of miles away. That's impossible. You're losing it. So then he pulls out his gun and starts this and that. And John fights back, knocks him out. They're on the bridge. And he asks the computer, where's Nash? Where is Nash? A computer says Nash is on the bridge.
Yes.
And that's where he's fighting with him. He doesn't see him. He's like, is Nash alive? And the computer says, yes, Nash is alive. So, good there. And he says, where's Franks? The captain, also on the bridge. He said, is the whole crew alive? And the computer says, yes, the whole crew's alive. And he says, pull up the manifest of the whole crew. And that's where you get the twist. You might have guessed it. I predicted this. Merrick did not. Isaac, I don't know where you were at.
I didn't. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. I didn't feel like, oh, I saw that coming. I felt like, oh, yeah, I'm so big brain. I figured it out. That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one name on the manifest. John Franks Nash. And then you get a montage of all the security footage of him having the conversations, and it glitches out, and Nash is gone. Franks is gone, and he's just in there talking to himself.
It's just him.
It's just him.
Yeah.
He's been losing his mind so bad that he had split himself up into 3 people.
Yes.
And he's been losing his mind up there and created 2 entire people. And
since the beginning of the movie too.
Since the beginning of the movie. Because they point out, have you seen any other sleeper pods on the ship?
Yeah.
And that's when you realize, like, no, we've only ever seen John's.
Exactly. Crazy. And it's like, it's such a good reveal. Like they did it at just the right time and just the right way. Like I was like, oh shit. Like he's just been losing it up here. That's insane. And then so like you're sitting with that and it's like, oh my god. And then we get the next twist, like not even 5 minutes later.
Yeah. Because what does he do? He goes and checks the radios again.
Yes. And
do you want to take this part? Or do you want me to keep
no,
going?
I can do this because like he goes to the radios and he knows he's been hearing things on and all this weird stuff, and he pulls it out. And he's like, "Hey, mayday, mayday! Like I have like something's up here and all this stuff." And like he hears Zoe's voice over the radio, the girl that he's been dreaming about this whole time, and everything, and like she tells him that he never left. That this isn't an actual ship that he is on.
Twist.
It is a mock ship that this company built so that way they could do a trial run to see if a single lone human can withstand the isolation of space.
No, they wanted to make sure that he had. It was a personal test for just him. He said, like they said, this was to make sure that you had the guts to do it, that you could do it. Yeah, mental fortitude. I think they said. Like, this is, we built this for you. It's just a test.
Yes, just to make sure that you like.
It was like, 1,000 feet underground.
Exactly, and like there was a moment, and that the dent in the hull. Because it happened after the whole ship like shook, and they said like, an earthquake hit and it collapsed the tunnel, so we couldn't we couldn't, communicate with you anymore. It broke the communication lines. And also your
Right.
sleep pod, it dialed up the drugs in your system. So it's like we couldn't bring it back down to
Your
non-toxic
dosage is too
levels.
high. We couldn't
Yeah, your
fix it.
dosage
Yeah.
is too high, and that's why you're freaking out and hallucinating on all this stuff. Like, so they tell him to like just we're on our way down to you. We're trying to get out. You need to leave. You need to get out of the ship. And
Get out of the ship where?
out through the airlock. Like, you need to walk out the airlock. And on his way there, who shows up but Franks? Franks like shows up again and tries to stop him from leaving.
Well, tries is a light word.
True. Well, like they
tries is a strong word.
Okay,
Because
that's
I mean,
fair.
he gives him a talking to. He gives him he's just like you're gonna jettison yourself out into deep space. And then he gives him a line that Merrick was a big fan of. He's like, the last thing you're gonna feel is the saliva boiling off your tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
What as you jettison down into space, and then you suffocate and freeze to death out there.
Yes, and
He's
it's like it's trying to get him, trying to reason with him, like be like, if you do this, like he's basically playing the you could still just be crazy and hallucinating here.
Yeah.
Like you
at
could
this
be letting
point-
this entire mission down by doing this.
At this point, you have two combating realities.
Yes.
The one where he's really in space, really with these guys, and really going to die, or he's actually underground. It's all a test. He's in trouble. He needs to get out, and that's the only way out. And he's alone. So it's 4 possibilities actually.
Yeah.
But those meet head-to-head collision right there, and
yes.
In the time that they're wasting back and forth like that, you're in your seats thinking, which one's real?
Yes.
Which one is it?
And there's like a countdown going as well, because he's standing in the airlock.
He makes the decision. He goes out to the airlock,
Yeah.
and there's a 15-second countdown. Franks turns and walks away. He made his decision, whatever. And it reaches 0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Screen goes black, and the door sound opens. And all 3 of us thought that would be a fucking roll credits. That would be fucking brilliant. That would be absolutely big brain one, because you get no answers. It's
you get none.
Like you gotta either you gotta analyze the movie to find out which one's real, or it's really up to your interpretation because you don't know.
Absolutely.
But as good as of an ending as that would be, that's not where it ends.
No.
Because the lights come back on, and he opens the door, and he's in this big underground facility.
Mm-hmm.
He makes his way over to the little hole in the ceiling where they're digging through. He hears Zoe's voice. He hears other people's voice. We're coming to get you. And he looks in the corner, and he sees a light, like the floodlight, the emergency light, whatever, with a dead moth in it. And there was a bit that we forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Where
there's a line
he was talking to his girlfriend about moths.
Yeah, I love this line in the movie. Actually,
it's a really good line.
Can I actually take this?
Go ahead,
just really quick.
If you don't bollocks it up, you can take it.
There is a line in the movie, that we heard during one of the flashbacks, because they're talking to each other, and he's like, "I like how you like moths," and she asks him, "Do you know why moths are attracted to light?" Because it's a defense mechanism. It's when a moth is in danger, when it is feeling like its life is at risk, it will just move towards the nearest light source, because the only light source it knows is the sun, and the sun is safe. It's safe. So sometimes the only thing that it can do in that moment is to go towards the light. The only other option is to plunge into the darkness. I believe I got that
so
right.
basically, there were many flaws with what you said, but regardless, basically the gist of it is that moths go towards light because it's it's better than being in the dark. It's
Yes.
better than that. Go light. There's some light out there. There's probably survival up that way.
Yes, exactly.
So as that quote is playing over in his mind, his eyes open again. The doors open. And he gets sucked out into space. Roll credits.
Oh my god. Because it's
in his very, very last moments of life, his brain had created basically a good ending for him in his mind before the actual dark.
Because that's exactly what his brain did. His brain did what they were talking about. Is his brain created a better alternative to where he is, because
the situation.
Because like, whether or not, like, if you are taking the worst possible scenario as the way that you're thinking about this movie, he is alone in space. Has been alone in space for years at this point. 2 years at this point. And maybe not from his perspective, because he has been in hypersleep. I think they say that they sleep for like 90 days at a time. But still, like, he's alone in space. He has left everything he has ever known and everyone he has ever loved. And like, he created this lie, this thought that he was actually still home and that he didn't have to be alone in space. Like, and like the line, you say the thing that you've been saying about this movie, the thing you love about this ending
is that it keeps you thinking.
Yes.
Because as good as that is a brilliant fucking ending. It's so dark. Because it's not a good ending. Like, he dies. The main character dies. And if he's alone on there, the mission's over.
But that's the other thing.
The best thing I think about it is that, like, there's still things you can guess. Like, there's still questions hanging in the air. Were Franks and Nash real?
Yes.
Because if he's having like completely fabricated like phone calls with Zoe, like his conversation with the computer telling him that he's the only one on the ship, that could be fabricated as well.
Yes.
And I think there's evidence towards that by the radios.
Yes.
Like, if it's designed for one man and one man only, why does he need 6 terrestrial communication radios that only work within a short distance? Who's he going to talk to? Why even have those? Why bring them? Why install them on a ship that's only designed for one man?
Exactly.
Right? And 6 radios? That makes sense for a 3-man group, so each person gets one plus a backup for each in case one gets lost or breaks. So, there you go.
Like,
so plus then there's the situation where if those, like, Franks and Nash are real, then he killed himself by jetting out the airlock. But they can still do the mission because Franks is still alive. He might be crazy, but he's still alive.
Yeah.
But then you get the question of, did he kill Nash or not?
Yeah.
Did he put Nash into hypersleep again? Or did he fucking kill him and throw his body out the airlock?
The line that you have been saying, that I have been clinging to, that I love, is that the only definitive thing you get about this movie is that he is dead. The only definitive thing you get is that the main character of the movie kills himself by jettisoning him. Oh god, I can't say words. He kills himself by
Jettisoning.
jettisoning himself into the icy cold depths of space. Like,
But not before boiling all the saliva off of his tongue.
true. But like
True.
it's such a powerful ending to this movie.
It is. I exploded out of my seat.
You did.
And then like I dropped to my knees in the stairway because we were the only ones in this one too, which
Yeah.
is criminal. I dropped to my knees, hands on my head, just processing that bomb of an ending.
It's so good. Oh. Mo, do you have any thoughts on this? Because you've been pretty quiet.
Yeah, even like the damage to the ship that could have not been real either.
True,
Yeah.
like you don't
Could've
know if
just
the
been
ship was actually
completely
damaged or
fine.
not.
Right?
Like it could have just been completely fine, and he just threw himself out the airlock at the
That is
end,
the other thing,
anyways.
yeah. Like like everything
might
could
have.
have been like everything could have been completely 100%. The mission could be going completely successfully, which is the other thing is like Houston could be just sitting there wondering why they haven't heard back from him yet or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy to think about all the things that like when you apply the world the movie at like the world the movie is built to the movie itself, like
Yeah.
just the amount of crazy stuff, like it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper into, like, even if you take the worst possible scenario here, even if you take the best possible scenario here, it's still horrible.
Yeah.
Like
If you take the best possible scenario is that he's not alone in space. Nash is still alive. His girlfriend really did love him and really didn't want him to go, and he just went crazy over the drugs and threw himself out into space for no reason.
because he just went crazy.
What?
That's the best possible ending.
That is the best possible ending.
What was the last message he sent back?
I think he was updating them about the hull, about like the damage.
Yes.
He said, "Hey, there was a little thing of damage we took. Sensors said that it was all fine, but we'll keep an eye on it."
Yeah.
John out. That was pretty much it. That was the last.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be
So
the
they get
last
that,
thing.
and then the
Yeah,
silence.
we got like a little like dinged up.
There's
Something
a
hit the.
slight dent in the back.
Basically, there's a slight dent in the
In the
back, but
back.
we think is okay, and then nothing else. Worst possible scenario is that he really was there all alone, and his girlfriend was a plant to just test if he was emotionally well enough to take this mission. He just jettisoned their only thing running this ship
Mm-hmm.
out into space to die. So then Houston will either lose complete contact of the ship, or they will track it to Titan, in which they will watch it on the monitor crash into the surface of the planet and lose full signal with it.
Yeah.
And they will have no idea why.
It's insane to think about all the possible ways. Like, this is great. This is great because
No.
I said this once. Sorry, Mo, do you have something to say? You can speak first, and then I will say my thing.
Yeah, so because he did the slingshot maneuver, and it was on course, so it 100% would crash onto Titan.
It would, yes.
Yeah, it would.
It's
unless Franks was there to do the landing.
Yeah, unless Franks is real.
Like,
which, oh my god!
Unless
Even
Franks is real.
Thinking of this way as well. If Nash is alive and he was just going crazy, He's gonna wake up and find out that this dude, who is presumably like it's his coworker and possibly even friend at this point, like fucking sent himself into space.
But
Yeah.
with his delirium, is he even gonna believe that?
That's the other
Or is
thing.
he even gonna believe that? Or is he gonna think that fucking Frank's killed him too?
There's so much, like, when you think about
And that's
further
just gonna
than that,
spark more of it.
this
It's
movie,
like, my favorite thing about this is that you can think about the movie as an activity.
you can.
Like, you could just sit
Yeah.
down if you have 10 minutes to spare. You could just think, I'm just gonna ponder Slingshot.
Yeah, the thing I love about this movie, it is I brought this up to you at one point. It's very similar to another movie that you introduced me to that is very, very well done. It's very similar to the movie Rent-A-Pal, in the sense that
Yes.
you can watch this movie 5 separate times and have, like, the way you think about the movie, the way that the reality that you apply to the movie, what you accept as real and what is happening, changes the way the movie is. It changes the way you watch the
Exactly.
movie. And that is so brilliant. That is something that movies don't get a lot. You don't get a lot of rewatchability in movies. At least not that way. Because normally the reason you'd rewatch a movie is just like, oh fuck, it was so good, I want to watch it again. Or it's like nostalgia.
Yeah.
This is a movie where watching it is an academic pursuit, honestly.
That's very good. And it really is, because, like, as you say, there's so many bits and pieces of this movie. Like, there's so many threads that you can pull on. It's so well put together. The ending is so brilliant, and I honestly just think I can think about this movie for an hour like it's a thing to do.
Exactly.
God, it's so
Yeah.
good. It's so good. Does anyone have any last remarks before we head on to the pretty obvious ranking?
No, I have nothing.
Merrick?
I literally don't even have anything
None from
bad
me.
to say about this movie. There's literally nothing. The only bad thing I can say about this movie is what I've already said, and is that the beginning of the movie was very slow. But that's the other thing that's brilliant about it, is the fact that the beginning part was slow actually adds to the ending. Because you're sitting there like, I don't fucking care about their relationship. But knowing about their relationship and all that stuff, like,
His
adds to
decision
it.
to put himself in the airlock entirely hinges on their relationship.
It does.
On how much he wants to see her again, how badly he believes in her.
It's crazy. Oh,
It really does. All right, let's get into this rankings. I'll go first. Easy 10 out of 10. This is I'm on the cusp of saying this is the best movie of the year so far. And the only reason is because Kill is pretty up there. It might be a pretty dead tie between Slingshot and Kill, but we'll find out at the end of the year. Fantastic, highly recommend. I recommend seeing this multiple times over. It is so brilliantly good.
Absolutely. I am also giving this movie a solid, rock solid 10 out of 10. I'd almost give it an 11 if I could. Like, and like you said, like, it's gonna be difficult because this is my 6th 10 out of 10, and it's making me question my other 10s and maybe giving them 9s. But even in the case, like, it's still good. It's a fucking brilliant movie. This movie was so fucking good. My God. Like that bit we had at the beginning of this where we were just like, dude, Slingshot. We've been doing that since we saw the movie.
Well, yeah, we'll just go, dude, Slingshot, and then we'll just reply with Slingshot.
But it's
just
like, it gets you
basically,
thinking about the movie. It does. It's oh my
Exactly.
God.
Because you'll just eventually you'll be sitting there. You'll be sitting there, and then you'll like think of the movie, and then you'll just be like hit with like how good it was. And you're just like, Slingshot, man.
It's
Merrick.
genius.
Yeah. It was so good.
So
10
good.
out of 10.
No, we got a
10
good
out
out
of
of
10.
we got a so good out of Merrick. We didn't just get it was good. We got it was so good.
Merrick, thanks again for joining us for Slingshot here. Stick around with us one more time as we also bring in our friend Alex for our next movie. All right, Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Merrick, welcome back. Today we are, for our last movie this podcast, we are taking a look at Stream, the newest movie.
Stream.
It's got Damien Leone doing the special effects, same guy who did all the Terrifier movies, and Art the Clown from the Terrifier movies is one of the killers in this slasher. Isaac, would you care to read us off a description of this movie, please?
Absolutely. A family's simple weekend getaway truly turns into a vacation to die for as four deranged killers playing a sadistic game lock down their hotel and compete for the most creative murders of all the guests.
Which sounds like a perfect explanation to do a bunch of crazy kills. It's just an
Really,
excuse.
Absolutely.
honestly. Like,
So
I love that, though.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think that's the first thing we should roll into is, first of all, the special effects, the practical effects that they used, and the kills.
I mean, it's
Yes.
Damien Leone. They were fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're very good.
that
Dude
guy
doesn't
knows what
miss.
to do. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to practical effects. Like, that dude is so good at it.
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean,
one of
he
the first,
he had a whole year. Like, he
yeah,
had a whole year to work on the Terrifier one.
yeah, one of the first kills in the movie, he grabs a guy's head. One of the killers grabs a guy's head and bashes it into like an arcade machine and jams his eye into the joystick, and it just pops right out.
Yeah, that definitely one of like the better ones in the movie for sure.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
they were all pretty
really,
good,
really good.
but they get
Mhm.
They're all pretty
pretty gruesome to the point where describing them in the podcast, we might not be eligible to add a promotion on this episode.
True. We might get shot by the YouTube execs.
Yeah. We may need to cut. We may need to cut around it, possibly.
So my of the four killers, they each have like color coded glowing goggles, and they each got a
Yeah.
number on their overalls.
Mhm.
So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 and 3 are the brother and sister, right? It's David Howard Thornton and
Yes.
the lady. Okay, and then
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like the silent stalker one, and then the fourth one is like the big muscle head who just brute forces all the murders.
Were were two and three brother and sister, or were they like lovers? Because they acted
No,
like
they
They were
lovers.
brother and sister.
No, they were brother.
Oh, okay.
Well,
They're from Alabama.
it could be both. I wouldn't put it past them.
Is that why they're wearing overalls?
I don't know.
Overall
But,
enthusiasm.
It's I found it really interesting that was the order, because that was the order from best to least, my favorite of the killers. I actually really liked the first one, who was just like very like calm and just like stalked after them the whole time. Plus,
He had the aura.
in my book, he had the best kill of the movie. I gotta say, I thought that one was the best.
That was a good one.
The
What
mom,
was it again?
Mom is
When he
sitting
kills the mom.
reading a book.
It was the mom, right?
In the chair,
Okay.
and then you just see his hand come up over the back of the chair, and he rises up right behind her, like he was hiding in the corner the whole time. And then he takes her
That was
down
so
and
good.
he whips out a length of barbed wire, and he uses it like garrote wire around her neck, and then he just like starts
But he's going like yeah.
sawing through it.
Oh,
It
that
went
one was tough to
crazy.
watch. Yeah.
It was. It
Yeah.
was really hard to watch, but it looked
It was
good, and that was the
shocking, too.
scary
It
part.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here like, oh, she's dead already. Wow.
Yeah,
okay,
like that was like one of the main
wow.
characters, and they just like sawed through her right, like pretty fast.
like a
Yeah.
half hour into the film too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they got to it pretty quick.
They
I
did.
well, I guess we're still on kills. I liked some of the quick ones as well. Like, before we get into like my favorite one, like, I kind of want to talk about, which I think my favorite one is the same as most of our favorite ones as well.
That'd be. I like
Uh,
the. I like
except
the
for
mom.
you. Like, I liked some of the quick ones, like when the lights go out in the the courtyard. Like after, because like all the other people, like they show up in the courtyard, and then he announced it, like the guy that took over the hotel or whatever, like, or who's like sponsoring this game. He like announces like, "Hey, you're all here as fodder." Hi. And then the lights go out, and then when they come back on, that dude is just like impaled on that lamppost. Like has the
Yeah.
freaking like like it's one of those old timey ones where it's got like the things sticking out from the edges, and he's just like through the back of his neck out his mouth.
He's still alive when the lights turn back out.
Yeah,
How
he
I
is.
have no idea.
Well, I mean, if they don't
Unsure.
sever his brainstem, he's fine. He wouldn't immediately die.
Listen, dude, you take a light post through the head, you're gonna die.
Well, it was more
It
through like the
came out his
base of his
mouth.
skull.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was more the base of his skull than the top of his head, so it came out his mouth. I mean, it's still like less plausible, but at the same time, it's like you could probably survive that for longer than the time it took for you to be impaled.
It's surgical precision, obviously.
Yeah. But no, you
Dude's a
wanna know what I
doctor.
needed? So one of the things I actually really wanted to look up is I really liked the big, giant, jacked dude, like
Yeah.
number 4. I liked him because like he gave me like I love it when a character is able to portray emotion like their intents and stuff like that through just their emotions. Like
They all did that.
when you
though.
take when
Did
yeah,
that.
I know, but like when you take away someone's face, you take away the most expressive thing about a person. So how does that person express themselves? Well, now they have to use their entire body, and he just has this like country bumpkin, angry at everything, Lenny from Mice and Men kind of. Like he's just angry the whole time.
That, but
And
Yeah,
I mean,
I
to a
get it.
similar extent,
Dude's like a corn-fed brick shithouse, is what he is.
true. To a similar extent, 2 was kind of like that too, because I can't remember if it's
Yeah.
2 or 3, but the guy half of the brother sister combo that
That's
was
David
like
Howard
Yeah.
Thornton. That's
Art
it
Art
was
Clown.
it was the dance for him because he was always like he was
Yeah.
gentlemanly to everybody else. Yeah.
Like
Well, except like obviously his targets, but like all the other players, he was just like,
he was still nice to them. He offered them like a gift at one point.
yeah.
It
I was like, hell
death,
yeah.
but it was a gift.
Yeah. I was like, this guy's cool when he's not playing tic-tac-toe on a guy's body.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That was
Yeah.
that was my favorite kill of the movie.
That was also hard
Yeah,
to
me
watch.
too.
That was nuts.
It was
It's
so
still
good.
not like it's not Terrifier 2 like bedroom scene bad,
Oh,
but
no.
like it's pretty bad.
Also, she's a moron. She lost at tic-tac-toe. How the fuck?
Yeah, and she like did the middle first too,
tic-tac-toe
right?
half the time.
No, he
Yeah.
did. He took the middle.
Oh well,
Yeah.
then he's obviously going to win, or it's going to be a draw.
Well, yeah. Like, I get it. Like, he won movie, like, to do the movie thing where he just, like, slashes through all of it to kill the guy.
Yeah.
Like, that was really good. But, like...
Are you criticizing her tic-tac-toe game on a
Yes,
guy's
she
body?
sucks. She's
People
awful at
lose
it.
at tic-tac-toe sometimes, Isaac.
Sick, I have met a woman who is far, far worse at tic-tac-toe than anyone else I know.
Yeah, you told me about.
I've
You
ever
told me
met in
about
my
that. I
entire
forgot
life.
about that. I
Oh,
forgot
is
about
it
that
story
story.
time?
His story time of how when I was in college, I met a woman who was confused about the rules of tic-tac-toe. 'Cause
So
I
it's
got
like that
one
one episode of SpongeBob, right?
exactly. Yeah, I got a diagonal and I said I win, and she's like, "What?" Like, oh my god.
She, and she was in college.
She was like in her 30s with a husband and 2 kids.
To be
Concerning.
fair, Kellan,
Very
weren't you
concerning.
in? Kellan, weren't you
Yes, I
also
was in
in
the
that same
sped
class?
class. Yes, I'm aware.
Oh no, I'm saying this class was also full of people that couldn't read an analog clock.
Well, that's just because. All right, I mean that's a segue, but or never mind.
So,
Getting off
whatever.
track here.
Yeah. No, but yeah, no. The other kills in this movie were pretty. They were all fantastic, like special effects wise, everything. Like it was so good.
So like I know like obviously the over the top ones are like the ones that are trying to go for like
Yeah.
the shock value to get people to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I liked all of the kills that the ringleader did.
Yeah,
Oh,
So
his were good as well, especially since his weren't being like hyped up as like part of the game or something. Because like everyone else, they're competing for points to get the most creative kills. So
Mhm.
I mean, you have to kind of go over the top with it and like make it really good. He could have just shot people, but he added flavor on it, and when he really didn't need to.
I kind of wanted the dagger that he had though. It looked cool as fuck.
That went
one of
hard.
his.
Yeah.
I mean, I know at least one of his kills was like televised. To
Yeah.
the stream.
I don't remember which one it was, but I
It was
remember
the
he
first one.
killed the. It was okay,
Well,
The
right?
maybe.
first
Because
one
he's
he
the dude in
killed
the
on
plague
camera.
doctor mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like
I mean,
he
presumably he also streamed the one where he drilled through the dude's eye.
that one was tough to watch. I don't like anything doing with eyes, and
Yeah.
Damian Leon loves eye stuff.
He does.
I stuff.
I'm like, ugh. You could kill somebody in a movie in any other way, and I probably wouldn't react to it as much as doing stuff with eyes. I hate it.
Yeah.
But that's a
He
really
did
easy
it
way to get you scared.
specifically for you.
He did. Yeah, he saw you were in the theater, and he's like,
Yeah.
Well, how
Alex,
nice.
closer time. That part's
Yeah,
not even
pretty
supposed
much.
to be in the
Closer time.
movie.
Yeah, it was added extras
It was
because I was
just for
sitting in
you.
the theater.
Exactly.
You know,
I
as
have that
on,
much sauce.
it was kind of crazy that as on top of everything that the ringleader guy was, like the fact that what's her face and that dude she was trying to mess with
Yeah.
were able to sneak out. And
How
let's
did
talk
they
about her.
escape?
Yeah, like before we even go
The
on
guy and
that,
the
can
French
we
guy?
talk about the daughter?
Yeah,
She
her
was
and the
kind
French
of a
guy. She
bitch.
left. What do you mean,
Yeah.
kind
Well,
of? She's an absolute bitch. That's the whole point.
Well, they left because they went out on the roof, I think before the ringleader locked the doors for the night.
No, it was after. It was
It was
after he locked the
after?
doors.
It was
Yeah.
after. They
was
explained it because,
after.
like, she knew about the ladder to the roof because the old lady who actually owned the place showed her. But that guy, he
Yeah.
literally just came in, killed her, and took over. So, like, I don't think he
Yeah.
even knew about it.
Yeah. That's what
It
it
must
was.
have been like
They snuck
one of like the
back in.
non-electric exits or something.
Yeah.
Propelled
also-
down from the roof, I guess.
Well, no, there's a ladder outside the building.
Oh. Yeah. I
Was
forgot.
there?
There's a ladder,
Okay, fair,
yeah, there's
fair.
a ladder on the side of the building. But like that's
All right,
how they
continuity
got back in.
saved.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they got back in. Like,
Sure.
because when they came back, and then they got like fucking speared through the stomach. Like they,
Yeah.
Well,
like,
they
came back
ended the
through there.
game because they thought everyone was dead, right?
Right.
Not at that point. Like when they came
Why
back.
the hell? Why did they unlock the doors then?
No, they didn't. They came back in through the roof, dude. Like
Yeah.
there was a ladder on the outside of the building. That's how they got down the building.
right. Okay.
And they
And then
climbed
they went
back
back
up
up
the
the
thing
ladder.
and then came in. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, you were like
I need the
completely
map for this
convinced.
place.
Yeah, you were like, you said it after we watched the movie that you were completely convinced that they just killed the daughter right then and there.
I was.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. They had killed the mom already and several other supporting characters. They had
I was
just
convinced.
stabbed the daughter right there and killed her.
Did it? By the way, because I just realized we never actually prefaced the beginning of this, like why this family
Spoilers.
why this family was even in this hotel to begin with. Because the thing that messed with my head is that when the movie first opens and the dad's like watching home movies and stuff, and like he's got tears in his eyes, I thought his kid, like at least one of his kids, was dead. It's like, nah, they just older now and don't want anything to do with them. Like, the parents, like the family dynamic in this was like, it was kind of extremely nonchalant. If that makes sense. Like they were like a unit, but they weren't exactly a family. It didn't
I
seem like.
think I think since the small kid, the streamer,
Yeah.
was with the dad for the majority of the movie, or at least he had like a more major role than
Yeah.
the daughter did. I
Right,
think
yeah.
he had a dynamic with the father.
Yeah.
Everyone else was kind of like, eh. And I mean, you got to give the mother the benefit of the doubt because she died so early in the movie. But
I mean, I do have
she
to
had
say,
the scene. She had the scene with the daughter at the bar. Then the creepy guy
Yeah.
came up and was
that was a
very
weird scene.
awkward.
I didn't like it. Yeah.
Well, good thing he died first then.
Well,
But
true.
at least like the
There-
mother and daughter had like some kind of connection. It felt like they were gonna work more on that, and then the mom dies right away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, which subversion of expectations, right?
yeah.
Yeah. It was just kind of. I mean, I do understand why they didn't sit. They didn't do the thing that movies like to do, especially nowadays, where they sit on the family thing too long. Like, Damien Leone. Well, I mean, which, by the way, he wasn't even the one directing this. It was someone else. It was one of the people that. It was one of the people that did something else. He just did the special effects.
Yeah, he worked
There was
on it though.
There
Yeah,
was some people. It was other people who had worked on Terrifier.
right. From the twisted
But
minds of Terrifier.
yeah. But like they know what the people want. We just want the kills. Like we appreciate the plot. We appreciate that. I like it when people are like I like it when you can kind of get to know a character. But like we know we just want to watch people get slaughtered, honestly. Like, that's all we came here for.
Not entirely. I would have to disagree with you on that. I at least
why I wanna
like there to be like somewhat of a dynamic, so then that way there's weight to the kills, if that makes sense.
Right. But you didn't go to the movie to see the family dynamics.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Right.
that
The
I'm
point
kind
of
of
the
like
movie is the kills, but to make the kills have weight, you have to have dynamics to go
Yeah.
with it.
I mean,
right.
they had a
Have
couple
weight.
little connecting moments, and they had a few moments of them like. I mean, she's just kind of a bitchy teenager, and the son is like kind of like classic Zoomer.
Right.
Like
This is not the greatest horror family of all time.
no, but like it did
No.
it did the trick. Like it was just kind of interesting. Like I liked it. The acting in this was not great. I'm gonna say that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I didn't hate any character in this movie.
No.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I kind of hated
think,
the daughter a little bit, but
well, she's written to be hateable, though.
Exactly.
That's the thing, right? So I mean, you can't fault that, right? I mean, even if you write like the Zoomer streamer kid, he wasn't a terrible character, which is great considering the fact
he
that
kind
that's
of
what he was
clowned
written
on
to
his
be.
dad a bit. Like I loved like how his dad comes up into his room and is like, "Hey, the thing's broken. Can you come fix it?" And he's
like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm playing Fortnite." Like that was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It's true.
I did like how smart the kid was though, because like there was like that scene when they were in like after people started dying and stuff, and he managed to like kind of hack his way onto
Oh,
the system, and the dude's like, "Who's this?"
intelligent
And he pops
horror
up on,
protagonists.
yeah, like it was pretty good.
We
Yeah.
love it. I'm here for it.
I loved the ending. I loved like towards the ending of this movie, like the reveal that this is more than just one thing happening. Like this is
That was crazy.
it was like a worldwide thing. Like the stream
It's
is
odd
like
to reveal
it's like
this
a
shit.
yeah, Tony Todd. Like they got fucking Candyman in this. That was crazy.
hmm
And
Yeah, like
no cameo for anything, but it's still pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, the people
yeah.
that were in the fucking theater behind us missed that, which was hilarious.
It's true.
True. But like I liked the reveal that this could be a multi-movie thing. Like they could do
They-
like a stream too.
I'd be
It
here
really
for
could.
it
This
because
could be like
I
They
like the
could. I-
premise of this movie.
you
Yeah,
want to know what I
Yeah.
would love?
and it
You know
gives
what I would
an
absolutely love for this?
excuse to do over
Yeah.
the top creative kills because that's the direction, that's the point, that's the goal.
I
Right.
would love for this to turn into like the next like cult following Saw franchise, where they just
Yeah.
make more of them and they just get crazier and crazier and crazier every episode.
I don't
'cause
think
That
we
would be
need
so cool.
movies though.
they've kind of fallen off of that as of late, because
Yeah.
like Freddy, Jason, Saw, they all have like over a dozen movies now, and like
Right.
people argue it's like, the
Mhm.
first 8 are good, but after that it's whatever, and that this and that,
We're like, come on, right?
and
I'd
nowadays,
love a series of these.
yeah, and right now we got Smile a few years ago, and that was pretty cool. But now we got Smile 2, and it looks like laughably ridiculous. And
They can't do sequels properly anymore is the problem. Like they
Right.
can't get a
it's
franchise off.
Yeah.
gotta be stuff like this. You can absolutely make like 15 Terrifier movies because like it's just that kind of movie. You can make
It's
like
just
8
murder.
more streams,
Yeah.
right? Because you
You just keep going.
It helps that the antagonists don't talk, minus the ringleader. But
Exactly.
hmm
yeah, because that's what makes Terrifier work, right? Because
Right.
Art, you don't need to have a character arc. He's just a killer clown. It's kind of
Yeah.
like these players. They're just faceless people that won a lottery to be in a stream to kill people.
True.
Exactly.
Infinite possibilities.
could-
All you gotta do is just change around the designs.
Exactly. You could just
Yeah.
Yeah.
literally put in like any 4 people. You can get people who've done horror stuff before, throw them in there, and then just be over again with different kills.
Ooh.
You
Right.
can
The only
Yeah,
do
difficult
so
part
many
is
times.
figuring out.
Setting.
All you need to do is just consult 1,000 ways to die or something like that, and
Literally.
Yeah.
No one
you'd be
would get
there.
tired
Right.
of it.
Just consult the
Right.
FBI like murder files.
I was gonna say,
like
like this type of movie. Like, I mean, we're referencing Terrifier quite a bit in this,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it's kind of impossible not to.
well, right.
It-
But like the
it's
thing
that,
is,
it's that aesthetic.
right? Because the thing is that movies like this, people like them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and it doesn't take a whole lot for like this type of movie to like be good.
Exactly.
Terrifier 2 was done on a budget of what, $250,000?
Something like
I think
that.
it was. Yeah.
And all of it was the bedroom scene.
Like a majority of that extra year he had to work on that movie was
That's
spent
burned
on
up
that
here.
scene. I'm not even
Sure.
kidding. That's a
Oh
mark
my
of a
God.
good
Yeah.
scene.
That shit hurted.
Yeah. Dude,
It
I
hurted for
remember
her
when
more,
Kellan
though.
and I saw that for the first time. I still remember that shit. It's
That
like
was fucking
when
crazy.
when
It
I
was
had
in
no
the
idea what
news for the
Terrifier
next
was.
month.
Yeah.
It was in the news for the next month because people were vomiting and passing out from that scene.
Yeah.
Like that's
Dude, I'm
Don't-
so
how good it is.
so excited
And
for
they
Terrifier 3.
bring that same level of effort into stream.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Damien Leone has said that he's producing and distributing Terrifier 3 himself because, and I quote, not a single studio in Hollywood will allow him to make the first 15 minutes that he wants to make of this movie.
Fuck him. Fuck
Yeah.
him.
Like, not a
Wait,
single studio in Hollywood would
It's
touch
gonna-
it with a 10-foot pole.
It's gonna be wild.
Like, that's the kind of
I am
shit
so
that I like
looking
about
forward
this
to
stuff.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
so
it's
looking
gonna be
forward
nuts.
to. That was the other thing is at the end of this they announced like 6 other fucking movies that they're working on.
They
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
They had like a little special
I'm
thing at the
excited for
end.
that.
They listed off like 7 more things. I wish we could have like taken a picture really fast so we could keep track of that.
Yeah.
But like every single one, I'm there for it. I'll be
Exactly.
like first
I don't
in
even
line for
care.
a ticket.
Like there's you could it doesn't matter whether or not the movie itself is bad. You know that no matter how the effects look, no matter how anything looks, you know for a fact that there is passion that was put into this, and you can feel it palpably while watching the movie.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that they're not afraid to kind of talk about like because they had like a post-credit scene in stream where they were kind of showing like what they did behind the scenes because they're basically operating out of their garage, which is
Yeah, they
are.
hilarious. And I mean, these movies have the budget. I mean, Stream probably had a way bigger budget, but like they had this budget of like 2 ham sandwiches and a paperclip, and they were making millions at the box office.
It's true.
So I mean, it's good for them. I think they're a fantastic indie studio because everything you guys have shown me,
really
they
are.
haven't missed on.
Exactly.
They are.
And you get and you got it, and you guys have to like drag me to slasher films because they're not my favorite genre. But these things that you guys have been showing me from Damien Leone and his studios,
Mhm.
I've enjoyed wholeheartedly.
Right.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
really good.
they just bring a
Mhm.
quality and a level of fun to
Right.
the genre.
As
You don't really
uncomfortable
see
as they
anymore.
are.
Right, but
But they're horror films. That's just what they do.
exactly.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Mech, you haven't said a damn word the whole podcast. Do you have anything else to say about Stream before we get into the biggest obvious thing about it?
No, a lot of all my stuff pretty much got covered already.
Sorry,
I'm glad you
Merrick.
could be here.
Yeah.
Merrick, you're cool. We appreciate you.
Merrick's cool.
You're a real one.
You get a number ranking anyway. Did you like the movie, Merrick?
I did enjoy the movie.
Okay, good.
It was very good.
We'll buy it when it comes out.
Yes.
Gotta get
All
it
right.
signed.
So
We did forget one thing before we get there, though, real quick. There was
I'm
another
here?
person that was. No, there was another person that was in the movie that. Well, they were not on screen actually, but like they had Tim Curry was in this. It was It was right at the end. He was the next Mr. Lockwood, which is actually really cool because this is the first feature film that Tim Curry has really been a part of since he had a stroke back in 2012. Like he's done like voice acting work and stuff like that since then, but like this is the first time he was actually well, no, I think that was actually him in the mask, honestly.
I really put Tim Curry in the costume just to sit in the chair. He flew him out all the way over here to put him in a costume and chair and not show his face. I think not.
I feel like that.
I think they just paid I think they actually just went onto Cameo, paid him $56, and just told him to say his lines.
It's voiceover Pete, actually.
But I think
Attention, all Stream gamers.
I think that's the plan for if they make a Stream too. I think that's the plan is to get Tim Curry to be the next guy.
Yeah,
that would be cool. That would be pretty hype.
Yeah,
would be pretty hype.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't be opposed to it.
Last but certainly not least, the ending.
The ending.
Yes.
Shocking, jarring ending. So the dad switches costumes with one of the killers so he could try to get to his son and save him. And he
Genius.
saves him.
Yeah.
Beats the last guy, and it's just him. Beat Lockhart, and they said he's crouched down. He says, "Son, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay."
Mm-hmm.
The daughter is still alive. He gets revealed. Has the javelin that was stabbed into her, and she fucking stabs her father. Her own father
Yeah.
was brilliant. And it came at such a shocking moment because Mr. Lockwood, he wasn't like dead yet. They just beat him. He was over there. So I was expecting him to come up and stab the dad. Like I saw that coming. Him getting got was pretty obvious. But the fact that it was the daughter,
And she didn't know because he was dressed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like we forgot,
Oh.
because like he killed the dude and stole his costume so that way he could trick Lockwood, and like that was so messed up, but it was such a good ending, and like
and it backfired.
the last quarter of this movie is really good.
Yeah. Like, and then
Like, it's really good.
I forgot to even say the other thing about it when I brought up the fact that the stream is this big thing. People were betting on this shit. Like one of the EMTs that like helped them out, like when they were getting let out of the hospital, he won money because he said the kids would survive.
Well,
Like,
and not only that, but
crazy.
yeah, there was this whole subplot. So we didn't talk about this guy, but the private investigator or the police officer that was helping out the father and the son throughout the movie.
Yeah.
He was actually in on the game too, right?
Well,
he was.
it
He
wasn't
planted
that
And that was his
himself in the.
ulterior motive. Yeah.
He planted
wasn't
himself
on
in
it,
there.
So he planted himself
could
into the game.
Right, so he was a bettor who was planted himself in there so he could influence the outcome so that what he bet on would win. He got for it. Mr. Lockwood got him and drilled his fucking eye out.
Lockwood and he delivered, and Lockwood delivered like the hardest fucking line after like the private investigator was just sitting there dying, begging for mercy, and he's just like, "I don't fucking care," and then kills him.
It's true.
Oh my god,
was
dude.
So good.
So sorry to derail the ending part of it, but I love Lockwood as a character. He was
a great
the
character.
best in the movie.
I loved like him constantly rolling dice and everything throughout the movie. Like that was really cool, and like how he's.
Of course, you like that.
Well, like he's kind of this eccentric kind of like.
I liked his
serious,
charisma.
But he's very he's got that like. He's got that like super positive, but like
he's the
kind of
he's the ringleader.
killer positive.
Yeah, he had that self-confidence. Cool. Like he knew his plan was gonna work.
Right, and I forget who. Right, and I forget who plays him, but thank you. He did a fantastic job, like because I could not think of a different voice for this type of character.
No, he is actually perfect for it.
I agree.
You were even like, is that Mr. House?
He looks like Mr. House, and I was like, he kind of sounds like him, but I can't put my finger on where I've heard this before.
Yeah, no, he's not.
It was not. It was Brainiac.
It was Brainiac from he was Brainiac
from
in
Injustice
game.
Yep. Segue, sorry.
Which I recognize too because I've addicted to that game.
It's also really cool because this is not the first time I've seen this man in a movie where he's the ringleader of some twisted game as well.
My fucking flag fell down.
He was in a movie like forever ago called Would You Rather. That he was just this billionaire that brought these people together and played this game, and it was like, hey, whoever wins, they'll give like a crap load of money to. And that's kind of like he just had him do all sorts of fucked up shit. And like that was he has that game maker kind of charisma to him, like that. Where he's
Yeah,
just
like the puppet
mastermind.
master pulling the strings.
Exactly.
I'm actually really sad he's actually dead at the end of the movie. I would have loved for him to have like a he disappeared kind of thing, and he'll be back for the next one. Like it would have been
He
so
had
cool.
it. He had his arc
A
though.
Tim Curry.
He did, but it was still Tim Curry would be great.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the ending.
I think
that
we
was
got
it.
that
Like,
pretty much.
She fucking stabbed her dad. That was the
Yeah,
big
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I didn't know if we had anything else left for that.
No, so
No,
we
it
can
was just
actually,
good.
if we want, we can head over to the rankings. Unless anyone has
Yeah,
anything else to
I'm
say.
down with that. Mo, you got anything?
Was it number 2 in the kitchen? That fire stunt
Yes.
Oh
was
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, the fire
Oh,
stunt.
yeah, we didn't
That
talk
fire
about
stunt
that.
was
Yeah.
impressive as shit.
Yeah.
There was not a stunt
Like-
double for that, right?
I mean, there might have been.
Oh, okay.
But even if there was, what I'm shocked about is that it's a fire stunt where there's no way to hide a fire suit.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was pretty bare bones. He had like no shirt on and just overalls.
Like
Yeah.
like in Terrifier when they had in Terrifier 2 when they had the fire stunt, it was a dude in like all sorts of clothes and stuff. So like you could make fire retardant shit and like make it look real. Like this, it legitimately looked
This
like
guy
dude's
had the
skin was
country
on fire.
bumpkin fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked like dude's arm was on
Second time
fire.
y'all said that
Like
this,
that's
this
so cool.
review.
True.
Yeah.
They're all wearing overalls. What do you want me to say?
I did like the brother sister duo a lot though. Like they were really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I also like that everyone
All of
was
their
color
kills were great.
coordinated. I love that
Yeah.
everyone was
Yeah.
kind of color coordinated as well. Like that,
Mhm.
so on top of even if you don't remember which number is which, like when he calls them out and like their like lights flash and stuff like that. Like
Right.
at some part of that character you're going to recognize as which
Right.
is
I
which.
mean, you had brother sister, Sans Undertale, and Sergey.
Sergey.
Okay. Sergey.
Took 6 shots to kill him.
It did.
True.
He was the unit.
It's
Yeah.
all right.
I
think
think
we're good to go.
I think I liked him the least just because most of his kills were just him being strong.
Yeah,
True.
pretty much.
His
Like I
was
said,
a-
he played his archetype though.
He did.
He was
Yeah.
he was more for going for the brutal type of creative kills, whereas the other
The vending
like
machine
the brother
kill though.
like
He just
yeah
pulled a-
the brothers yeah
They wanted to have fun with it. They wanted to like terrorize them. And the first guy, he was just sadistic. He wanted to like inflict as much pain as possible.
Oh,
yeah
barbed wire garrote.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah, so
hard to
let's-
beat.
It
Yeah.
is.
really.
I think we should get into the rankings now. So who wants to go first?
I'll
can go.
go. Go ahead, Alex.
Isaac, you-
No, you never
sure.
go first. Go ahead.
I don't. You're right.
Fair enough.
So I think this is probably one of the better horror movies that I've watched. So I'm going to give it a very nice 9.5 out of 10.
Nice.
I think this one is really, really good, and I think everybody should watch it when they get the chance. So
Yeah, it's a lot.
this
of
one
fun.
impressed me.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Mhm.
Isaac.
So
Yeah, no, I'm giving this movie a very high 8. Like it had a lot of really strong points. Like I did really enjoy it. There were a few things that were kind of whatever. I mean, it's a low budget movie, so and like I know what to expect of these. But like I still like anything that these guys make being less than like a 7 would shock me. Like I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
agreed.
It's true. I'm also gonna give this an 8. The acting's not entirely great, especially from everyone, because when it comes to this and you have like such a little budget, you get who you can. So there's gonna be characters who are literally just like the producer's wife or something,
Yeah.
or like it's like, hey,
It's
you're
what adds
here,
to the
want
charm.
this side role? Yeah, exactly. It's part of the charm. It's an
Right.
indie studio. They're not gonna
Exactly.
get fucking Brad Pitt in here. I mean,
Right.
they got Tony
It's the only
Todd
thing.
and Tim Curry,
Yeah.
but like
It's the only thing
again,
that's holding me back from like giving it like a, like a 10. Like,
right. A lot of the
Yeah.
acting is
Mm.
subpar. But
everything
that
else
comes,
is great,
it comes
though.
with the
Yeah.
territory. That's it,
Right.
exactly what this movie was setting out to do. It accomplished. It did pretty good.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
I am also going to give this movie another 8.
Epic.
Any particular reason, or was it just movie good?
Well, a movie good.
That's
Yeah,
it.
movie good.
Movie good.
Quite.
Yeah.
Well, let me check my notes. It just as he flips through, it just says "movie good" over and over again.
Movie
It's
good.
like literally
Movie
stealing
good.
my joke.
It was
right
a
in
good
front of
movie.
me. You guys saw that. It's on camera. I'll be taking this footage to the
Oh, were you
authorities.
making that joke?
Isaac,
Caught
the
caught in
lawsuit
360p.
will be in your mailbox by the time this episode is uploaded. I'll see you in court. Until that, Isaac, until our court date, in the meantime, would you read off what we have for next time?
Yeah, we'll.
So we got
No, we'll
so
have
next
we'll have
time.
Beetlejuice, Killer's Game, and Speak No Evil,
Thank you.
the new James McAvoy movie.
And again, our next time, those are very rough estimates because sometimes they don't shake out exactly the way they do. It's just that's what we plan on seeing next.
Yes.
Once again, guys, Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Always a treat to have you. Merrick,
Pleasure as always.
thank you for joining us again, Merrick, as well. Maybe one day when you get a
Mhm.
laptop, you can join us in the webcam crew, but until that day happens,
Yeah.
it's nice to see your little ticket up in the corner.
Thanks to all of you guys as well for helping us again
yeah.
for helping us break our 500 subscriber goal. Like
Yeah,
we
thanks
thought that
again,
was
guys.
gonna
That's
happen for a long
crazy.
time.
Y'all are
Like, it's
fantastic.
wild.
That was a pipe dream for a while, and now here we are.
And it happened out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was like
562
Christmas came early.
at the time of recording.
562
Right.
at the time of recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Really good. Feel free to share with everybody you know, though,
Absolutely.
in case people need to see more of
Two knit
us.
accounts. Awesome. So again, be sure to subscribe, guys. Keep that number rising from where it is. Be sure to check us out on Letterboxd at Cinema Kellan and Regular Isaac. But until next time, guys, that's a wrap.
Roll credits.